Hey guys, this is Lantis, and I guess we're going to be going over the Arath demo now. Before we actually got into the game, I wanted to step aside and do a little something else real quick. If you've been keeping up with the studio, you know that I've been doing a little bit of HTML work and making a little offline website for the game when it finally releases. And I've always put up a few screenshots of that, and I was like, maybe if I gave it a little more in-depth walkthrough of what that's like, that maybe it would, I don't know, if you see if you'd like it. But anyway, my HTML is not that great.
That sucks.
It sucks. But and by the way, Q&A at any time. If you have a question about anything, just yell at me. So. The site's separated by just different things, a little abouts and whatnot. The top bar here changes, the image here will change, and the quote and whatnot. We're separated by things to know, which is back information that you would like to know, that if it's not like focused on really hard in the game, about the elemental weaknesses in the game, how that works, and the glitches that are within RPG Maker that you just can't help. And with the game is this many scenarios long.
Why don't you just change party order whenever you get to the scenes?
Well, we eventually went to doing that after the custom menu part, and you could then pick your own party. That's when we were like, well, we can't do that anymore. We actually liked it then because before then, we could actually just have the party just kind of walk into place, where we wanted. Now, since there's more than 4 party members, we don't know who's going to be where and how they're going to merge, who's the leader of the party. So literally, whenever the party gets somewhere there's a scene, we have to black out the screen, bring in all the characters that could possibly be in your party so they can be present for whatever scene's taking place, which is why we had to do the change.
I was speaking of just actually having a command that reorders the party.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. I didn't actually know that all enemies were like picky about the placement you had your party, so that's all really new to me.
Well, it just seemed that way. I don't know for certain it just seemed that way. I'd have to actually test that.
Yeah, but and if you most of the time party members are events in scenes, but towards the beginning of the game, it's mostly the main character stays as part of the party, and the events are, the rest of the party are events. So if you moved one of the party members from the back to the front, then you would have 2 of the same character. The him being part of the party, and then him as the event. So.
By the way, when I let's play your game, you'd know I'm going to be messing with it.
I know. But anyway, then we're going to have system requirements for all 3 platforms. Just a little information. I was actually, when I was putting this together, I was kind of digging for any excuse to add another section to the website. So
I don't blame you.
Yeah, and these are all the people that have mostly been involved with the game. SK and I have been the only 2 that have been sticking with it. We've had a lot of people come in and help out, and they'll leave, and they'll check in and be like, how's it doing? But mostly it's not mostly, it is just me and SK now, but we still like, shouting out.
These are horrible character names.
You can shut up. And we have character bios, and originally this was all one page, but I separated it by, by that.
Tags.
So
tabs, rather.
And over at the mag, I wrote a walkthrough for being able to transfer. It's a little picky how the game saves work on the PS3 and EPSXE, especially when you're dealing with multiple memory cards. So if you're not sure on how to do that, refer to that, and that'll help you, figure out what you need to do. But the, I guess the coup de grace of the site is the walkthrough I've been writing, which I have no idea how that's going to look on video, seeing as so much, contrast. It's so small.
I really like how you drew the planets.
Oh, thank you.
You had like an editor or something to do
no,
that?
No, I did that by hand. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
And
did you actually try to make that look like Australia and like the southeast end?
Not really. I was just making continents and such. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that's pretty good.
I'm getting Ixion to bring me some work that I had Ixion's sister's boyfriend do for me. He is very talented, and I will try to get these in frame because I wanted to reveal it here. So,
Put it in front of the TV.
yeah. Well, yeah. Here, I'm just gonna kind of slip past here real quick and see if I can't get this in frame. This was the poster that we had him do, which you can't really see it now, but on the left panel, it's the characters as they were in college before the adventure, and on the right, it's as they're going in, like kicking ass and whatnot. And some of the antagonists there, dividing them in the middle, which is really awesome.
And there's Pac-Man on there too.
Yeah. I don't think Lamar noticed this, but if you turn it this way, there's a subliminal Pac-Man right there, and apparently he's trying to eat that building, and that his eyes show that that's really tough for him to try to eat. But that's awesome. And also we had him do individual sketches for the characters. I'll see if I can't get those in frame as well. So all the characters have these wonderful little sketches, and these will eventually be scanned and uploaded to the website as well. So you might be seeing them here, but the final one they'll also be there as well under the Earthling tag. So also because I'm so thankful for the work he did. If you are interested in having any of these done for your game, get a hold of myself or Ixion, and we'll be sure to get a hold of Liana so that she can speak to him about getting you some work done, because he did a wonderful job.
And he has good prices.
Yes, he does. Very fair. That was a lot of work that he did, and that was relatively cheap for what it is. But anyway, back to the website. The walkthrough, now ASCII art, I always okay, recollect thoughts. People release RPG Maker games at the Mag all the time, and a lot of times with the download, they'll put a TXT file. That TXT file usually consists of some of the stuff that I've noticed in the or that you might have noticed in the website, but it's usually kind of abbreviated, not really in depth. So, making this game that I've been working on since me and SK have been working on, it's been alive since 2002 in its original form, and since then it's just become what it is. But I wanted to reflect the game with content that was actually had a little bit of thought put into it. And also I don't know how people who don't really play a game, or since me and SK are creating a game, we have this already understanding of, we know we need to do this next, but we don't know how the player, when playing through the game, is going to react to scenes, or assume they need to do things that they really don't, or vice versa. So I wanted to create a full walkthrough, which
Holy crap! Look at the sidebar. That's so much stuff.
Yeah. So this is and this is gonna get longer. So you can use the Control F function and type in anything in the brackets, and it'll take you to that segment of the walkthrough. So if you know where you are, you can flip there real quickly. There's a list of the side quests and a bunch of optional information. Also within the walkthroughs, you'll get ASCII art dungeons. So all the dungeons in the game will have exactly what you're going to be going through. So you can you see exactly where you are. You're never going to be lost, and you'll know exactly what to do. This is even though there's a picture on the website, this is the text version of the elemental weaknesses, what does what to which enemy. Let's see. This is just another dungeon. And there's one map I haven't finished yet that I wanted to kind of show off. I really should be doing this page down. It's going to take forever. Okay. Here we are. This dungeon, at this point in the game, all 4 party members are going to be split up and thrown into their individual holding cells, right? And, you know, storyline, blah, blah, blah. One of the characters gets free. And never in any RPG before has a main character been thrown in a prison and not been able to get out by some shape, form, or fashion. So obviously, one of the characters is going to get out. And
I wish they could see your motions that you're doing.
yeah, I do. I talk with my hands.
Yeah, that's fun.
Hand flails.
So I know you guys watching on Viller will not be able to see my cursor because I'm going to be using it to point. But the character's going to come down here, and you can see there's a path to the right, but it's going to be blocked off by fire or whatever. This is kind of a fire-based dungeon.
Why don't you stand at the screen?
You know, because like a weather reporter, like
Yeah.
coming in from the east side. But all right, I'll try that. So if you see right down here, the character will get out of the prison. If you come down here, there's going to be a path to go this way, right? The map's not finished, and there's a lot of stuff in these hallways. Like there's stuff all in there. Path's going to be blocked out, so the main character is only going to be able to go south. And they can also go left and right, but those are also blocked off as well. There's a button right here that when he hits, it knocks down this wall, and it also takes the walls that are going up and down, moves them to going left and right. And he's, once again, gone from being in a cell to being trapped down here, right? So, but that also unlocks the second character's cell. So he's now going to be able to travel, but it's pretty linear at the beginning. Your character's only going to be able to go one way, and he's eventually going to come to where the first character was. He's going to see him trapped there, and they're going to talk, be like, "Oh, dude, you're all right, awesome. All right, how do we get out of this?" And he's going to go over here, hit this button, which will reset these back so he can go up. But now since this one's gone, he can travel down there, and he'll eventually hit another button that'll, you know, free the third party member. And after the fourth one's out, it's all a matter of all of them hitting buttons for each other to make it to where they can finally get out of the dungeon. All the dungeons in the game, minus like the first one or so, are going to try to implement some kind of gimmick like that the entire time. So it's never just, you know, dungeon crawling. No offense, Dre.
It's the opposite.
Yeah. So, so again, you can always refer back to the walkthrough, and you'll never be lost. And I'm going to see if I can hit the bottom of this really quick.
You're at the bottom, weren't you?
Well, yeah, I was actually. I'm actually looking for. Where's my item list? Any item in the game, any item, weapon. There's a bestiary. There's going to be everything's going to be noted. So every item in the game.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Well, all right. I'm going to explain something real quick. Arath was originally, you know, Secret of Everyone, which is now, you know, Secret of Everyone : Arath. Secret of Everyone was our first RPG we ever made. It was really freaking cheesy, really freaking centered around us. Like, us as individuals, they were us. And so we're like, wouldn't it be cool if we drank Dr. Pepper to heal us? You know, that kind of stuff, which is what every person does when they first get their hands on RPG Maker. That's like the first thing they think about. Now, if anybody actually put a little bit of time and thought into it, they'd be like, no one's going to want to play that. That's something that me and my buddies would laugh at, you know, while eating pizza and drinking something, but
Dr. Pepper.
anybody else playing it isn't going to like that. So when we started working on SOE, we decided to keep that, but you'll see that the characters, that while they are built after us, they develop their own personalities. They are no longer what we are. They are their own characters, and it should be a very unique story. And you should never at any point feel like you're just like, this would be funny if I knew these guys, you know?
What you're trying to say is we're not taking everything that happens to us in real life and making that the whole game.
Yeah.
SK finally speaks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just...
Well, he's got to fill in because I'm stumbling all over my words, so... So that's all I have to really show as far as the offline website goes to. So I'm going to go ahead and source over to the actual game now and show you a little bit of what you got in store. So the
Whoa. You want to go to Tesla?
no, I don't.
No?
I've played my own demo. It's not going to be broken.
It was when I tried it.
Shut up.
Oh.
So the last year, the demo I showed was a lot of stuff that's later in the game. Some of the optional quests, some of the mini games, some of the dialogue, and the custom menus and such. But if you remember our original demo, it was the very beginning of the game, and it was broken because I, like every other noob, wasn't doing it right. You're doing it wrong. But I wanted to show you, like, over the years, what has changed in the beginning, kind of go over a few things, and maybe get you reacquainted with the beginning of the game instead of kind of wondering what's going to happen later on. So what I'm going to be doing is going over the first chapter of the game, which is, it contained at least on the first scenario, so it's within 15 blocks. It's not that terribly long. I'll be cliff noting instead of reading the text because there's a lot, and I'm trying to keep this, I don't want to break our video camera from overuse.
Quick question.
Yeah.
622 hours over a period of 8 years?
Yep.
Actually, a lot more than that.
It's a lot.
Timer's messed up.
Well, the thing is, we don't change system data a lot. So we do most of our work on the scenario data, right? So whenever we're working with system data, it counts the data, or it counts the time. But we didn't change anything, so we don't save it. So we just turn off the console. That time is lost. It's not saved into the system. So if you're referring to the system data for time, it's probably a lot lower than what it should be. But we're just gonna go with it anyway, just because.
Deanna, would you like my seat?
Oh no.
You sure?
So here's the main menu, and at first, like, Esky didn't like the main menu.
It's rated teen?
Yeah, it's teen.
It's the portrait demo.
Is that not manly enough for you? Does that have to be mature?
That have to be tits in there.
And besides,
Tits
I
are
changed my mind
GTFO.
about the main menu. I think it's awesome. Now.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
now a center to a lot of things now. You can start a new game, and everything's at least listed here. Now, you've got to beat the game before you can unlock everything. Like, New Game Plus mode, obviously, is you can start the game over with all your items and all your levels, but it's going to tell you beat the game first. You go to extras, and you're like, well, we can watch the trailer, blah, blah, blah. But, view credits. We actually need to put the credits here, because if we put it in the game and ran the credits, you can't do anything after that. You actually have to turn the game off.
Unless they were custom credits.
Yeah, which I want to actually use the in-game credits because I thought they were really nice. They really are, and so the option's here to watch them if you want to. So we will have minor in-game credits to kind of match the people on the site, the creators. So the trailer, everybody's pretty much seen. It's not really anything great. I'll just go ahead and do it anyways. But basically, we took scenes from the game and stripped them down of most of the detail and all of the dialogue. So anywhere that you see in the game, eventually, you'll be there, but it'll be a lot more detailed than this. But look, that right there is where the demo's going to end. So when you see that, you know we're just about done. And I haven't touched this in a long time, so it's actually going to stop much sooner than a lot of the stuff that's already been made in the game. But honestly, I don't even know why we decided to do this.
Because it's cool.
You think?
Well, I did the same thing.
Okay. So we'll see, and that's changed a lot. It does not look like that anymore. There's space out changed, and there's a lot of stuff there, and that's what we have. That's eventually going to get a lot more in depth and hopefully a lot more awesome. But for now, that's what it looks like. And it goes back to the main menu. Once you beat the game, everything changes, and you'll be able to access everything. Now, there is one thing I did kind of want to reveal. Some of you already know about this if you played through the world map demo that I made. I have no idea if I actually came out and said this, but after the game releases, we're gonna like back off it for a while and get off of RPG Maker because we don't want to do it anymore. But there's things we wanted to do in the game that we're not going to be able to. Like, we wanted a very, very extensive and awesome battle arena, right? Just, like a lot of RPGs did it, and we wanted to do it too. But where we are in the game, to be able to get a few scenarios in, we make a town, we need to make a new scenario card. Well, to start off that card, that town's got to be copied on there. And that's going to take up that data on that memory card every single time we make a new one. And there's a new town. Then 2 towns take up a memory card. So every time we make a new scenario card, there's less and less data to actually work with. If we had a battle arena in there that was really in-depth, that would chew up so much data that when we started a new scenario, most of the card would already be gone. So we can't do that. So what we're going to do is, after SOE has been out for a while, I'm going to go in and make a specific scenario for the battle arena. And I'm going to release that sometime later.
Is it going to be like released as like a patch? Or?
Yeah. It's just going to be the scenario data for the battle arena. So if you've beaten the game, and by the way, if you're starting a new game plus, at any save point you can come back to the main menu and start over, or go to the main menu, or go to the battle arena and do whatever you want. So at any point you'll be able to go in and access the battle arena. The battle arena is going to give you a lot of different modes to play with. You can play single character, customize a party, Earthlings Must Die, which will be the hardest mode in the battle arena. There's going to be things you can get in there that you can't get in the game that you can use to actually help you conquer the optional dungeons in the Paprika Desert, which everything's going to be absurdly hard there, so you're probably not going to be able to get it there on your first game through. So it's going to be Game Plus only, or doing some grinding in the battle arena. So I think that'll add a little bit of depth to the game and gives you something else to look forward to even after the game's been out for a while. And there's also about SOE, because there's a few things we're doing differently in the game. Added a little bit more realism to it, and
Realism with a talking chicken.
a talking chicken. Well, it's a talking chicken, but he introduces himself. His name is Helpful Poultry, because he's
Poultry?
Poultry, like curtains, poultry. But Helpful Poultry asks you what you want to talk about, like world map movement. You're like, what could you possibly change about world map movement? Well, in RPG Maker, in a world map, when you go from point A to point B, you go in a straight freaking line. But our world maps have some terrain, water here and there, and we don't want the player to just beeline across that stuff. If there's water, you're not Jesus, you're not going to be able to walk on it. So there's actually joints in the path, so you're actually traveling to different places. So
I remember when you showed screenshots of some of your maps.
Yeah. So, and Helpful Poultry, before he tells you that he's leaving, he's gonna say that he's gonna be in game, so you can actually look for him for him to give you some inside information. It's optional, it's not important, but it's funny because there's a few chickens in towns, and some of the chickens are normal, but maybe he's hiding in there. Be like, hey, it's Helpful Poultry. Poultry. Don't say poultry. He's not a curtain.
He actually kind of follows us throughout the game. He'll turn up in a new place.
Yeah, so, it's just something to kind of mess with. If you see him, fine. If you don't, whatever. So we're actually going to start a game.
It's like Bandiger from Thousand Arms, only less gay.
Bandiger's thin! So, this is the opening for our game. You might have actually seen this before several times. But we're going to do it again. And the dialogue here, it's not being said, but it's being spoken by a priestess named Lisa Winters, which you'll be familiar with her family or her lineage as you play. She's talking about people that are coming. She's talking about the goddess Serena. And it is around this time where...
Yeah!
Yes.
That's custom, by the way?
Do what?
That's custom at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, that's a custom...
Lantis, you are a wannabe corporate sellout.
Hey, I'm releasing at the Mag. I've got mad props, or mad respect for that place. It's become a big part of what we're doing here. Like, if we made this...
Exclusive?
If we made this game and we didn't have the Mag, who would play it? Who would play it?
I know
The pavilion.
So, well... So, anyway, so...
Yes, the quote in English was stolen straight from Dragonlance.
But anyway, so at this point, this is actually when the Lord of Darkness is descending upon the land. He's actually coming through that portal right there, which is from an unknown place. You'll find out where that place is later. But he comes in
Where'd you do all that?
that's what do
I
you mean?
didn't even.
So there's the actual title screen.
And look at that.
That's a custom title.
Yeah, that's a custom title.
Oh no, music?
No, it was silent there. I just
Yeah.
wanted to keep it that way.
Oh, okay.
And then we cut into the characters. Now, I'm going to be going through this a little quickly, but each character is introduced, and they're just regular college characters. And we use message 2 for a narrator at the beginning. He eventually dies off after you get a pretty good grasp of who these characters are. Now, at the beginning, these characters are based off of, me, SK, and 2 of our other friends. But
You're an elf with blue hair.
yeah,
That was okay.
all right.
In the original SOE, Jay just chose himself as that character, and for some reason, I was like, when we do the remake, you just need to keep yourself as that anyway.
I asked why, and he
And I was just like, I don't know.
Just
No real reason.
Yay!
Dr. Pepper in a chest.
Actually,
Outside.
Outside.
since Jay's getting a Dr. Pepper in the game, I might as well.
Nice.
Product placement.
So,
How much we getting paid right now?
Dr. Pepper, I'll be sending you my email address and PayPal account later.
They'll thank us later.
So, yeah. So
really, you should link this to them.
So this is our house, and Brad at one point got in here and just threw a bunch of shit in here. I don't know why there's so much stuff around here. Like a phone on the floor, because that's where everybody keeps their phones.
We're American. We don't live primitive.
So then what we're doing is basically just being introduced to the 3 of the main characters right now. Because at the beginning of the game, you're just going to be going with 3, and you'll find out later in the demo. So we're introducing the second character, and then we're going to start talking about the third, which will actually trade scenes to him, who's at college right now, actually.
At the university.
Dude, that university is awesome.
I know it's a church.
It's a church.
Castle, man.
It's a church. It is a.
There I was just hitting on a random
I'm
college
reminded
girl.
of Harry
Yeah.
Potter.
So,
That's
Are you
Hogwarts.
a wizard? Hogwarts.
Well, we do learn magic eventually, so
Yeah,
it kinda
yeah, we
makes
do.
sense.
So, and he's mentioned that he should probably go in and talk to Professor. You don't have to. You could actually leave right now. Go to the world map, which is this. We make our maps rather big,
That's okay.
but anyway, I'm going back in anyway because I want to have this.
You don't want to show off the junctions?
We're
I
getting
will.
there.
But in here you can talk to the professor, whatnot. But in here is, and the weapons in the game will actually be listed, so you know which one is better before you even equip it. Like this is his first weapon, and so if you get the third one, you know I missed one, and that'll get the people that are like, oh my gosh, I gotta have everything, being like, where's the second one? If someone's actually going to be that worried about it, so we'll go ahead and give his first weapon to him.
Oh,
And-
you can equip the Dr. Pepper?
no, it's all equipment all items are in the equipment. You can't.
Okay.
You can't.
You gotta fight with a sword in one hand and Dr. Pepper in the other.
Hey, there's no better way to fight, right?
Cha-ching!
Anyway, so and as you can see, we knocked out the left hand, so people can't sit there and equip 2 weapons and just break the game. But I will go ahead and spoil you. Later in the game, someone will teach you to be ambidextrous, and we will unlock the left hand. So that'll add some extra awesomeness. Now the enemies are gonna, increase in defense quite a bit. So, but that'll also give you the option to. What the hell? Oh, I can stand here. Ha! I must have put a 39 there. Just
Secret.
yeah. So. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you can't step there normally.
No.
And I'm not in test play, this is actual game mode, so you can't hold circle and cheat. So, right here, for example, you see, there's if I was to just go straight here, I would clip this water a little bit and clip this water a little bit. So this is an example of how the path works. You gotta click on each joint. So, that's
and
how.
none of them go anywhere.
Yep. No, yeah, they go to ellipses. So,
I've been there once.
Yeah, yeah. Not very many people talk there. So basically, your character comes back to find the first two chilling, and you can go around the house if you want to. And we've tested this very well. So if you went through the back of the house and came up that northern path, the event would still take off appropriately. It's not broken, so.
Because I would try.
Yeah, I know you, Dre. I keep a lot of. I'm like, he's gonna play this game. He's gonna try to break it. I know a lot of people are gonna play this game and just play the game, but Dragon will sit there and will try to break your game as best he can. So.
Like